Hello and welcome or welcome back to my Flosstube channel. My name is Lizzie and I go on Instagram and YouTube as this Mrs. Fisher _stitches, and I'm here to talk to you about my cross stitch today. At the end I'm going to show you a tiny bit of crochet that I've been doing because I've started a project recently and it sort of links to what else I'm going to be talking about. Thank you indeed, not thank you or, thank you for being here. If you're a subscriber, thank you for hanging on the immense amount of time it's taken me to come back and film again. I was trying to get a finish in, and so I didn't want to record till it was done. I'll talk a bit more about that later. And if you're new, welcome. This I record sporadically, I think was the word we were discussing the other day, and I think sporadic is probably the best word to use. Sometimes I film, not very often actually, I film like but mostly I have big chunks in between. I like to wait till my house is emptied before I record. And at the moment that doesn't seem to be happening very often. So here we are, the husband has taken the daughter to work, so I've got a little bit of time. And let's go. What's been happening since I last saw you? I've had many starts. I've had a couple of finishes, maybe. No, I don't think there's any finishes other than 2 starts and finishes, which were tiny. And what else? Well, I've had an operation on my back, which was mostly successful. And I've been to 2 retreats. So I'm just gonna, I tried this with the ironing board. Lots of people use ironing boards to show you what, like to use as a table in front of their chair apparently. But mine came up to here, sorry, at its lowest setting. I mean, I could have found a different chair, but then I'd have been in front of a chair, no. So you're on the ironing board, propped up against my cup, because I think my tripod is in the car that's taking the daughter to work. And I've got stuff all around me, so I apologise if you see a lot of the top of my head while I'm looking down to get stuff, and I think there might be an avalanche already. So retreats I've been on the Flossfriends retreat, which is run by Sammy in the UK up in Rotherham, which was wonderful. Sat on a table with all my friends, met a new friend, Jill, and then the following week we went to Stitch North in Canada. Well, so we did Friday night, Saturday night at Flossfriends, and then came home on the Sunday evening, and then on Wednesday we flew to Canada to go to Stitch North. To say I was cream crackered when we got home would be an understatement. Not gonna yawn. I'm still cream crackered, but less so. I can stay awake for a whole day now, which is brilliant. Okay, I'm not sure how to do this, judging by the amount of mess. There's going to be some crinkling, I'm afraid. There's going to be some zips. So if you're listening on headphones, bear that in mind. I'm really sorry, but there's just too much chaos going on around me. I'm just moving my potoki stand out of the way because I don't need that, and that's just adding to the slippage. It's pretty, isn't it? Pretty little thing. So I sit with this. Here's a tip. If you're looking for a stand to use, I use this more than I do my Lowry at the moment. It's really tempting to put things on the table that you're wedged on, but on the ironing boards, but then it'll wobble. So I sit with this on my lap like this in this chair on a plastic box that all my cross stitch lives in mostly, because of water damage. So I sit with it like this, and then I have my hoop. I only use a little hoop, and I wedge that in there, and then I stitch like that, two-handed. So if you're looking for how do I stitch, at the moment I do that, or I just stitch in hand, which is just as nice for me. I've got a couple of projects that I just stitch in hand on. Okie dokie. Ooh. Right. put this pile back in front of me. Okay, so let me show you. Ooh. I'm just trying to move things carefully so that I don't have an avalanche. So before Flossfriends, I started a project by Boomerang Stitches, which is going to look like this. And I'm stitching it on a yellowish, well, I've got a dangling thread, sorry, just have to live with that one, I'm afraid, because I haven't got a needle on it. I'm stitching on a 16 count Primrose Ada by Lakeside Needlecraft. I'm stitching it in hand, and it needs a piece of paper on the back. Let's see if this will do the job. And it's looking like this at the moment. I'm stitching it in CXC, and I'm stitching it 2 over 1 square of Ada, and I'm loving it. I started this after I got back, when I was sort of not on bed rest, but when I was on reduced movement after my back surgery, and it's lovely, it's lush. So I started that with the I'm going to fill these bits in. So I did all this outline, and I was going to fill all this in at the Flossfriends retreat. That didn't quite happen, because was I just showing you that? Oh, that's coming later. Shh, don't spoil the surprise. I didn't do that because my lovely friend Adita picked me up in Nashville. A copy, because she was so lucky to go to Nashville with Sammy and Linda. Picked me up a copy of Fruit Dove Frenzy by Boomerang Stitches, which is a similar size to Freak for the Beak, which I finished a couple of years ago now. And so, of course, when I saw it, I had to do it. And so I've started that again, another loose thread. Sorry, I bring my threads to the front when I finish, so I know where I'm going next, as it were. So this is my start. This is the, I think it's this way up. This is the upside down bird in the middle, and I've done a middle start. Oh yeah, look, it's definitely the right way up because I've written top at the top of the fabric. Can you see it? Yes. The lighting's awful, I'm afraid. Is that better? Maybe. It's always awful in my floss tubes because I stitch here and all my stuff's here, and well, actually all my stuff wasn't here this time, but you know, this is where I film. So those are my Flossfriends starts. Did I start anything else with Flossfriends? Forgive me if I did and I can't remember. We had a lovely weekend. It's just so nice to sit with people you know, but don't see very often, but we chat from time to time on Instagram and Messenger and stuff. And just like-minded people. We just had a riot. You know, I felt so calm and so relaxed by the end of the weekend. It was just lovely. And I'm really grateful for my Flosstube friends, not Flosstube friends, Flossfriends, if that makes sense. I'm very grateful for my Flosstube friends as well. So we did table gifts, some of us, and this was my table gift. It's a pouch to put tissues in. I haven't put tissues in it because this is to go to my mum or my sister, this spare one, and you sort of pluck the tissues from the middle bit. I was quite chuffed with how they all came out, if I'm honest, and the tissues mostly fit in them. Oh dear. Sorry, excuse me. I should have tested whether the tissues fitted in them before I took them with me. Right. And I got some beautiful gifts from everyone at the table, some really useful gifts, some stitched gifts, and it was really great. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for being my friend. and just, oh, loveliness. Love, 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 love. So, and I did really well actually at Flossfriends. I didn't buy anything for me. I bought stuff as a gift for my friend Leslie, our friend Leslie, and that was it. So yay for that one. I cannot say the same about Stitch North, the not spending though, unfortunately. Well, not unfortunately, I love everything I bought, but yeah, the same cannot be said. So I said to my friends at Flossfriends, let's make a vlog. I don't think we didn't, because we were all a bit tired and jaded when we arrived at the airport, which would have been the ideal time to start it. And bags were heavy, my back was hurting. It was all just a bit like, let's just get on the plane. We had a lovely breakfasty, brunchy thing at Giraffe when we got into the terminal. It was Terminal 5. We flew British Airways, so Terminal 5 was a new experience. Lots of walking, and we had lunch, and then we didn't have too long to wait to our flight, which was good because it was earlier than if we flew Virgin like we did last year. We might have to check out who flies to Canada from Manchester, because I think it might be Air Canada. See what flight times they're like. Although then we've got to get to Manchester and it's easier to get to Heathrow. Although if the husband's driving, it doesn't really matter. Where was I? Lunch. Got on the plane. Oh my gosh. So, Terminal 5, you go to your gate, you go through your gate, and then you get on a bus. You drive for about 10 minutes. I thought they were going to take me home. Drive for 10 minutes on this bus, and then we had to climb up the steps to get on the plane. Fortunately, we went with, in the if you require assistance group, because I have my walking stick because my back hurts, and those steps, it was like 32,000 steps, I swear. By the time I got there, it was a good job the flight was 6 hours 42 minutes, because I needed the sit down by this point. Oh, I've just thought I've got 2 more finishes. I stitched this on the plane. I would show you it in person, but it's on my pinboard upstairs and I'm not going upstairs now. So I did a little doodle craft. Are they called? No, they're not called snippets. They're called nibblers, tiddlers. Doodle craft. Are they doodle? Mouse Loft Designs Tiddler. It's the little birdie, and I put French knots on it, and so I did that on the plane. There wasn't as much choice to watch on the plane over as there was last time. So it was it wasn't the same experience. Last year it was we went Virgin and it was a lovely flight. This year, a little bit boring. Maybe that's because I'm a seasoned traveller now. I've been on 2 aeroplanes in a year. But yeah, I think I preferred Virgin. So, although we did get lip balm in the little pouches when we got on, so that was quite useful. I'm just stalling because I've got so much mess around me, I don't know where to start. One of the projects I took to both Stitch North and I didn't take it to Flossfriends, but I did take it to Stitch North and I didn't stitch on it much, is an ongoing project, which you've all seen before in one way or another, I'm sure. It's AKGIT by Modern Folk Embroidery. This is what the chart is going to would look like if I stitched it all in one colour. Excuse me. And this is where I'm at now. I'm at a whopping 76.23%. It would be finished had I not misstitched something and got angry with it and put it in the naughty corner for a while. And it's looking like this. Sorry about its unironedness, but I don't want to iron it till the end. So see this blue tree? You might not be able to see it. See that blue tree? I got that wrong, had to unpick it. About 500, 600 stitches of it, had to unpick. It was in the wrong place. And the next tree wouldn't have fitted in either. So that's where I'm at. It's looking good. This is on my 6 finishes for 2026 list. So I'm determined. Underneath these trees at the bottom, I've just got some more circles. I've got 18,247 stitches to do 3 trees, some more circles at the bottom, and an alphabet or 2. And then it's done. So I'm loving working on that. I could hold it up like this, I suppose, and then it will be a bit more saturated, maybe. It's looking good. Looking good. I'm hoping. Should I say it out loud? If I say things out loud on Flosstube, I don't tend to do them. I'm hoping to have it finished by Big Stitch in June. June 26th is 54 sleeps away. I know that because I have to keep working out how many stitches I do a day to get that finished. So yeah, 54 sleeps or days. I don't know if it's sleeps or days, but 54 is a good number. It's about 340 stitches a day. And the last couple of days I've done over 500, so that's good. Yes, it's 655. I need to write that down. Okie dokie. So when we arrived on the Wednesday. We checked into our hotel, which was lovely. We had a adjoining room again, so that was nice. So because it was me, Fiona and Leslie, and so Leslie had her room, and we kept the door open so she could come and go as she pleased, so she didn't fill out the action. Not that there was any action, because I'm tired and broken, and it was very much a much quieter, I think, occasion than the last year. I think we're all a year older, a year physically moved on. It's quite interesting. So anyway, we went to Walmart. We went to Michael's on the Thursday morning. We woke up. I had to do something for work, which was a pain, but very useful that I did it. And then we went to Michael's, and we went to Walmart. Then we went to Michael's. So we stocked up on snacks and things at Walmart, and I found some yarn, which I'll show you at the end. And then we went to Michael's and got thread for, I certainly got thread for 3 projects that I wanted to start. Well, maybe not start, but the thread's so much cheaper. DMC is so much cheaper over there. And for some reason, the cashier lady gave me the older person discount. I can't remember what it's called over there. It's like, really? Do I look over 60? 65? Do I look over, I think it's 65. Do I look, maybe I need to start using moisturiser a bit more often. But I was very grateful, made it cheaper, even cheaper. So not complaining, apart from the fact that I'm worried that I have aged a lot. So yeah, I've got DMC threads for 3 projects that I want to start. 2 are by These All Lot Designs, one of which I've started and I'll show you in a minute. The other one I'll show you the threads and the fabric for, because I've got it in the heap. And the other one, I can't remember. Oh yes, I can. It's an Artsy Housewife. It's a patron from last month, the one with the octopus and the butterfly. And I think I might even have that in the heap somewhere. We'll see. Because I've chosen a fabric out of my own fabric stash when I got home. Oh, it's probably in the project bag, my Artsy Housewife project bag. Okay, so that was that. Then we went to IHOP and had lunch. You know, traditions and all that. You've got to do what you did last time. And then we just went and sat in the room and stitched, unless my memory serves me wrong. I think we just sat in the room and stitched. So what did I stitch on? You know, I can't remember. Oh, maybe I started my crochet. Maybe that's why I don't remember. I think I probably started my crochet. And stitched. I can't remember anything else we did on the Thursday. Oh, we went out for tea. We met up with Erin from New Brunswick. She came down for Stitch North and we went out for tea. And then I think we stitched some more and went to bed quite late. Next morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, I wake up, can't sleep anymore. Oh my gosh. Canada is the place of my dreams come true. So I wake up at 5, can't sleep anymore, think, okay, I'm going to go downstairs and sit and wait for the queue to start, but I'll go over to Tim Hortons and get a cup of coffee first. It was open at 3 o'clock last year in the morning. This year it wasn't open at all at 5:30 when I got there. So I was just like, got there, not open, and there was a lady outside taking photos in a high vis, and she said, "Oh, we're not open till 6." I was like, "Okay, that's fine, thank you." And then I just stood still because I was trying to process what 6 o'clock meant. It was early. What 6 o'clock meant and how long I had before I could come back and get some coffee. And she said, "You could always walk through the drive-through and I'll come serve you." I was like, "I've always wanted to walk through a drive-through. Have you not wanted to do that?" Always wanted to walk through a drive-through. So I got to walk through the drive-through and she gave me a cup of coffee. And as I pulled away from the window, I went brum brum, and then some voice behind me went brum brum. Brilliant. And I walked all the way around as if I was a car. So thank you, Tim Hortons, Brampton, Ontario. That made my week. Little things, hey? And then I went over to the hotel where I met Lynn, and she was like, "Where did you get that coffee from?" And I said, "I had to walk through the drive-through." She's like, "I can do that." So she went and pretended to be a car. I think she honked her horn a couple of times. And then she came back with coffee and we sat and chatted. And Lynn is a lovely lady. She's from Wales originally and lives in Florida, near Florida, and came up from Stitch North. So it was really lovely to see her, or to meet her. And we had a lovely chat. And then we went and joined the queue. I think I was number 1, 2, 4, 5, 4 or 5 in the queue, about 20 past 6. Doors opened at 8. That was quite the long wait. But I know what my job is at Stitch North. Get up early, make sure you're in the queue. So I did my job. And then I let other people choose which table we're going to sit on, but I just make sure that we're there for the opening of the door. Right to the front. Like my mug. Bought this at Canada last year. I love it. I need to show you some more stitching because we've been here for ages. So, what should I show you next? We got into the room. Oh, as the doors opened, we went in. We said hello to Caroline and Kerry. And there was Stitchman Darcy at his table. And I love his floss tubes. It's so funny. I love his hand-dyed fabric. But, of course, coming from Canada, there's the transport costs. So I haven't bought any until this weekend. And I was there first. And I was like, I love watching you. I'm going to come put my stuff down, come back, and I think I may have stressed him out a little with all the he was a little scared, I think, but he got into it. By the end of the weekend, he was loving it. Right, so what did I buy from him? I bought 5 pieces of fabric. I've started one of them, which I'll show you in a minute, but it's this colour. This is Blue Velvet 18 count Ada. Sorry for the glare, but I'm not unpacking them because they're nice and square at the moment. And then I bought 3 more Ada, so I've got 2 of these. And I bought 3 more colours. This one's called Here Comes the Sun, which you can't say without singing doo 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 doo. This one's called Skies Wide Shut. I love that colour. It's got some really pretty mottling. And of course, I would have been foolish not to buy some Reckless Delights 18 count. They're all 18 count Adas. And I have found stitching on it is a bit, what's the word, stiff. But I've put it in a hoop, and using a hoop, it's fine. I don't think I'd be able to stitch in hand with it because there's not the fluidity of the fabric to do the stitching method. The dog's just got up, so if I disappear, it's because the husband's home. Okay, so we went in, we sat down, and we were on a table with the lovely Erin. who's, like I've said, we met her last year. We really got on well, and it was a delight to see her again and catch up with all things and hear about her grand adventures. I hope your travels are keeping you safe, Erin. And then we met Sarah and David, who were on our table and were also delightful. David is a full coverage stitcher, which was very interesting to see somebody just, work on the same project all weekend. Sorry, I'm a bit sniffly now. And Sarah is a quilter turned cross stitcher who was stitching a Bothy Threads squirrel, and that looked amazing when she finished it. I was really impressed. And then a bit later on, Uli joined us, who is a cross stitch from Ontario, Canada. She was from the area, Brampton area, I believe, if not, like, just, I think she said quarter of an hour drive away. So she could get to walk through the drive-through any day she liked. And Uli was just a gorgeous person, full of stories and full of love. And I was really blessed to meet all three, plus Erin, 4 of our Canadian friends. So thank you for joining us on our table. We really love chatting with you. Let's get into some stitching. I think I started by stitching on this. And then I think I may have made a mistake or two, or found it too hard to concentrate or something, so I put it down. What did I pick up next, I hear you ask? I have no idea. Oh, yes, I do. So, where is it? I've got piles of things. So, sorry about the crinkle. So here's the fabric from Stitchman Darcy, and so you can see it's a bit stiff, but I'm using this blue, which I can't even remember what it's called already. I have just told you. Blue velvet. It does feel quite velvety. And I'm stitching the Needle Lock Designs peacock. It's a peacock in this, with the threads that we picked up from Michael's. Now you can see I haven't done masses, but I've done a start. I think quite a good start for me for retreats. I have stitched, sorry about this. Oh, I've turned off the number counting. Ooh, I don't know. There we go. I've stitched 160 stitches, and that was day 1 of the retreat. Looking good, hey? Hello, boy. My dogs are just waking up, so maybe there's something going on outside, who knows. So I need to get back to that. Ugh, don't we all need to get back to things, hey? And then, so we went and picked up our pre-orders, and I pre-ordered this beautiful fabric called Pie. Oh, let me just get it out of the bag. It's called Pie, as in PI, as in 3.14159, you know, something to do with circles, isn't it? And it's by Roxy Floss Co. It's a 20 count Ada, and I'm going to use it to stitch this pattern, which I got from Lindy Stitches as a market release. A beaver biscornu, because who doesn't want a beaver biscornu? I love biscornus. This one's got beavers on it. It's even better. As you can see, I am the fan of Roots, the activewear, leisurewear store in Canada. Their symbol is a beaver. I'm just a bit of a silly child, so I'm going to stitch a beaver biscornu. And to be fair, I'm probably going to stitch it twice, one for Leslie and one for me, because we're both silly children and find beaver jokes incredibly funny. I'm doing my own thread convert. I haven't started it yet. And I've just pulled from my stash and bought a couple of extra threads with Roxy Floss Co. And I bought a couple, like this blue I had to buy and one of the browns to do the beaver. That's rubbish. How do people make it look professional? Those are the colours I'm going to use. It's going to be great. I want to start that now. I want to start everything, but I also want to finish AKGIT. I don't know what to do. So, what's next? So I picked that up, and when I picked that up, there was a little note with it. No, I looked for my name on the list and it said Erica Wallace. Oh, just told you what my sister's name is. Anyway, and I was like, what? Is she here? Oh my gosh, she's here. But she wasn't. That was very sad. My sister had pre-ordered me something for my birthday, which was so sweet of her. She had pre-ordered me Fancy and the thread pack. I don't know where that is. No, literally, I don't. Anyway, Fancy is an artsy housewife. Peacock. I love peacocks. It's a shame my daughter doesn't. And I'll come back to what Fiona bought me for my birthday, which is another artsy housewife. But she bought me this fabric. And so I'm going to do Fancy on this fabric. I have started it because Leslie and Fiona are doing it as well. So we all started together. There's my site. It's 40 count, so it's teeny tiny. And I was struggling with the lighting. So I've just done a little start of those two blobs at the top. I think Fiona's nearly finished this now. I think she's got like all the border done and the outline of the cup and the outline of the feathers done. Excuse me. Sorry if you're wearing headphones. So that's lovely. This, I believe, is biscuit fabric. I might be wrong. But it's lush. It's just like so soft and gentle. So that is that. Okay, funny. I'm going to come clean. Erica, my sister, bought me this and the threads for it for my birthday. Fiona bought me this and the threads for it and the fabric for my birthday. So I cried. I've swapped this for Saucy, which is somewhere in this pile. So I don't know whose I've swapped. I've swapped one of them and the thread pack for Saucy by Artsy Housewife, which is why Fiona bought me this colour fabric, because it matches the picture on the front. So Erica, I loved your present. It made me cry. You know that because I rang you up from the retreat. And Fiona, I loved your present. Thank you. So between you, you've bought me two projects, which is even better. And I chose, instead of doing it on pie, because I'm going to be quite fed up with that after I've stitched two biscornies, I bought this, which is probably not got the label on it anymore because it had a pin in it and I would have wanted to take it out. It's one of their colours. I can't remember. I'll look it up maybe and put it in. Nice, goes nicely with my jumper. So this is the thread pack for Saucy. And I think that works quite well. It's going to be different. And last year at the retreat, lots of people were stitching bun on different colours. So that's sort of what gave me the confidence to switch the fabrics. And I did ask for the people who dye the fabrics help to, I can't remember the girl's name, she was delightful, to help me choose the right colour. And she did rule out a couple of the ones I was wanting, as they wouldn't have been appropriate. So I've started the blue one, the peacock on the blue fabric, the peacock on the biscuit fabric. Something's just fallen off my chair. And then once I realised I couldn't stitch on 40 count, I moved to 20 count Ada to stitch on Dot the Bird by Kathy Barrick, and this is a delight. I picked my own threads. Sorry, there's clippets that I'm using to hold the thread on because I'm doing it in hand. So that was Tina's brilliant idea. Use a clippet at each end of your rolled up bit of fabric to hold it in place. I did my own conversion for this for Brin and Needle threads because they were there and I haven't tried them before and they are just scrumptious. So look at this thread, and you probably won't be able to see it because let me get them all together. I have added a couple of Roxy Flosscoes to it. Look at these two with the speckles in. Isn't that lush? Oh, I gave you a little sneak peek of where I've got to. So yeah, I stood and chose all these Brin and Needle threads. And they've got fabulous names. We've got Tut 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 Tut. There's the pink one. We've got Crunchy, Watery and Mushy. And somebody told me that was like a... Oh, I can't remember. The Skerries, Iceberg Alley. You can't see what I'm holding, sorry. Berg Hunting. So Iceberg Alley is this light one. Berg Hunting is the darker one. Then I have chosen Minted from Roxy Flossco. Spa Day from Roxy Flossco. And South Beach to go with this Crunchy, Watery and Mushy over there, also from Roxy Flossco. And I've added in Maraschino just to outline the blobs in the bird, and then I'm going to outline the blobs in the bird, blob being a technical term. I'm going to outline the leaves of the tree with this darker colour from Brin and Needle that we got in our retreat packs which are wonderful. I've unpacked mine and I don't know what came from whom. I'm really sorry. I'm sure other people will do recaps much better than I can manage. So show us the stitching, you say. Show us the stitching, and here is as far as I've got. I love it. I hope you can see it because I can't see you. Not that I can see you anyway, because this is like video on the telly box. I need to iron this fabric. It came a bit scrumpled. This is 20 count hand dyed by Rolanda that I bought at last year's Stitch North, and I took it with me thinking it would be the perfect fabric for this. See this needle minder? That was in our swag bags, retreat bags. It's very shiny. It's got a very pretty bird. So there we are. That's beautiful. I think the husband's home this time because the dogs have got up for purpose. I might have to finish this another day. Or just let him know about all the things I bought. Yeah, definitely finish it another day. Okay, so that is bird, it's the word. And I think that was all my starts. What did I stitch on day 2? More bird is the word, I suppose. Did I not have another start? Don't believe that for a second. Anywho, have I shown you these? Where's the other one? Last year at the vendor tables, Canadian Stitchery was there, and we went a bit mad for her wooden plaques with the stitching on. And this year she wasn't there, but there was a shop there, Kimat Stitches or Kimat Stitchery. Anywho, they had some, and they were lucky enough for us. They put in an order with Mary, and she brought them over on the Sunday for us. So I've stitched Barnaby Blue Jay, and I'm not going to show you the finished project because it's upstairs on my wall already, and it looks just like that. And the Chickadee, and I've got them hanging on my bookshelves in my office upstairs, and they're adorable. So that's 2 starts and finishes. They're very small, so it's okay. And then I think the rest is haul. So let me show you what I've purchased. I've purchased fabric and thread to stitch Sweetie by the Artsy Housewife. I need to download my pattern because I bought the paper copy there for Leslie because she stitched in paper. It was her birthday present. I went halves on the fabric, which is this pretty light pink, and the thread pack. I split it in half because it's only a small pattern. For an Artsy Housewife, it's a small pattern. So that's that that I bought. And I bought these 2 scissor mouses. I love scissor mice. I got one last year, which is here somewhere, holding a pair of scissors. And you just keep your scissors in them. These were a gift from Erin, these scissors, which are brilliant. Look at, they've got a curve on them, so you can get really close to snipping without risking the fabric. Really close to your stitching. So I bought this Canada themed scissor mouse, and then just this pretty scissor mouse whose tails come off, but its tail's inside so I can stitch it back on. I bought these 2 patterns from Enchanting Lair. I bought a couple of patterns from her last year, and I finished one of them last year, and I'm going to put these hopefully on the same piece of fabric because I think there's plenty of room because I haven't chopped it up yet. So Shadow and Dragon Wings, which I might do without the border, I don't know. We'll see what it looks like on the fabric when I stitch it. They're lush. I bought this fab piece of fabric and I can't remember who the vendor was, and it's not written on the label, just the price. Oh no, it is watercolor. No, that's what it's called. It's called Watercolor Falls, and it's an 18 count Ada. While we were there, I got a bit taken with a certain pink drink from Tim Hortons, and then IHOP I had a blue drink, and then I had the idea to drink the rainbow while we were there. So I had an orange drink and a purple drink and a red drink. I was just missing the greeny yellow. I should have had a Mountain Dew or something while I was there to get all the colours of the rainbow in my belly, but I didn't, because to be honest I think I'd had enough sugar by that point. So, but isn't that lush? I'm thinking of maybe charting my own long line of telegraph, like a telegraph pole at one end, and then wires with birds sat on and flying about. I've seen something, but it's not obviously not big enough. Or dragons flying in the sky, maybe, I don't know. But I love it. So it's going to be either birds or dragons. I think birds was first to my mind because the whole weekend was supposedly bird themed. So, but that is a lovely fabric. I bought this bit of Be Stitch Me. It never had Be Stitch Me fabric before. You could use this as a pillowcase. It's so soft. It's called We Cantaloupe. Get it? Cantaloupe. We Cantaloupe. It's the colour of a cantaloupe melon. Brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Someone had to explain it to me because I was a bit slow on the uptake, but it's really funny and nice, nice, nice fabric. I'm just going to fold it with the price tag on the inside in case the husband sees that. I bought some fabric. My friend Tina has lent me this chart. Can you see it? Yep, Byron the Blackbird. She hand dyed her own fabric with wine to get those blotches on hers. I saw this and thought that might work. So this is, I don't know who it's by. Well, it's Linen Witch Tina. Do you think that's who it's by? Fairy Wool in the Wood. It's a 32 count linen. Should we have a look at the whole piece? Oh my. quite interesting, isn't it? Looking forward to starting that. Maybe I'll start that at Big Stitch, because I'm going to need a new start by the time I finish AKGIT, and I'll probably only just be finishing that the night before Big Stitch. Or at Big Stitch even. That'll be good, and then I can ring the bell. Didn't get to ring the bell in Canada this time. Oh my. I think I've got to the bottom. Let me check this bag. No, that's all stuff I took out with me. Oh no, look at this. It's a little tin of sardines. It's a Mill Hill, tiny Mill Hill. And after I did my tiny Mill Hills in Christmas, I thought that would be fun to do. It's a teeny tiny sardine tin. They're quite the range now. I've seen Jareen Jones has got one, and someone else has designed a sardine tin. I don't mind. I could stitch them all quite happily and have a wall of sardine tins. But I think Matthew might complain somewhat. And that, I believe, is it. When I got home, my fabric from Swan Bay had arrived. I've changed from 46 count to 16 count Ada because it's a nice neutral colour. Because my eyes, there's something going on with my eyes, and my back hurts and my head hurts, and Ada's just easier to stitch on. And why make life hard for yourself? If you can't manage it, change to something else. So I have. Here's the husband. There's a bag missing. It's not a problem. It has just got a project I started before I left in it. Bye-bye. So while he's busy in the kitchen, I'll just quickly finish. We received so many lovely gifts from people. Like I said, Erin gave us those beautiful scissors, and David and Sarah gave us loads of sweeties, which was delicious and kept my energy up. And in the sweetie bags were things like, there was a magnet on a stick and some needle minders, which was great. Uli, bless her, gave me a thread bed, which is delightful. And Lee came over. We met Lee last year. She was the lady that suggested we went to Niagara on the lake as well as Niagara Falls. And she gave us this beautiful Stitch North thread organiser. That she has someone, one of her neighbours has a laser cutter, and so she designed this for us and her table mix. So we were really grateful she came to find us. And Lee, thank you for discussing my research with me. I will always hold that in my heart as I'm working. So thank you. And then the next day, I'm being quick now because Matt's here, and so if I forget something, many apologies. On the Monday, we went shopping in Toronto. I bought myself a beaver, because who doesn't need a cuddly beaver to live on your desk? I also bought 2 books by Canadian authors, which was nice. Yeah, and we did a lot of walking. We got off at the at Union Station and Grand Union Station. Anywho, we walked to we went and had another look at the CN Tower to check it was still there, because we stayed on the 37th floor of a tower apartment block opposite it last year. Checked it was still there. It was still there twice. I took a really cunning video with it in front of me and behind me. And then we went on the underground, the subway, to the shops, whereupon we bought a beaver. And I said I'd quickly show you my crochet. So I've got 2 crochet projects on the go at the moment. Oh, I left the important one upstairs. Maybe I'll show you next time. Have a great week. Or 2 weeks or 3 weeks till I see you again. Enjoy your stitching. Bye bye.